Oh, I forgot to take one pill.
Having seen several Troma films, what do you think of this one?
I have no words for it. It's different.
Pterodactyl Women in Beverly Hills. May either produced or released by Troma. I'm sorry, Troma. I expect crazier, funnier, and grosser from you.
Funnier than that?
About the only thing that was funny was Salvador Dali, Pablo
Picasso?
Picasso, and the part at the end where they go all meta referencing stock footage. That was it, but it's like we've seen stock footage, or no, we've seen stop motion in like Equinox and in what was that movie, Valley of the Guanji.
It was just different.
So in this movie, Beverly, or there's some guy whose name is Dick. Um, he's a father and husband. He goes on a dig into like a area that he shouldn't, and then some wise Native American spirit named Salvador Dali puts a curse on.
With really bad paint on his face.
All I kept
Oh
thinking,
my god.
all I kept thinking about this was, yeah, we should review Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD one day.
All I could think of was his face paint was just gonna flake off.
It was chipping, yeah.
Oh my god, it was drying out and everything because
The
it was
men.
over 100 degrees there in
I
the
also,
desert.
I also kept thinking. Dun 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 dun.
Tanto?
Yeah. Oh, and I also kept thinking, the men think you are dead, Kimusabi.
Well, what was that one guy calling that government guy at the end? Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
He was. I wonder if they were ad libbing that.
God, I hope not, because that would imply half this cast blows at ad libbing.
Oh, yeah, true. But it is a Troma film, so.
Yeah, and we've seen several Troma films. We've seen Beware Children at Play. We've seen Curse of the Cannibal Confederates. Um, this just bites. I even saw
But the mom,
I even saw I've
she's
even
just as kooky as it is in Christmas Vacation. She's just as kooky.
this is like her chance to be like the screwball, because this stars Beverly D'Angelo, who, okay, we need to get back to it, but anyway, curses the one of the guys to turn into a lizard, and curses the other guy for his wife to turn into a pterodactyl. So Beverly D'Angelo starts acting starts
At
acting
first, though, it's just crunch, crunch,
starts
neck,
acting more like a bird than a dinosaur, but
A
whatever.
pterodactyl is a
I
dinosaur bird.
Yeah. And this movie has some weird political messages, where there's like a political message about like feminism and stuff.
Mm.
Um it has a bit about like being vegan.
Hmm.
It has a bit about like chickens and eggs.
Chicken's feet and raw fish right out of a aquarium.
No,
Or
she
not
doesn't
in
eat chicken legs, but she eats she eats
flounder.
fish several times. Several
The
full
whole
fish.
the whole thing. Just trying to grab them. Yeah.
And then when she finds out that she's a pterodactyl, she finds it out, no one else does. They're like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, what?
It's like they were
It's not.
okay with it.
It's not like she's
It's
changing.
just common. It's different. It's okay.
Yeah, everyone just acts
You're
like
the
it's.
screwball, not her.
Everyone just acts like it's nothing. It's not like she's getting a mohawk or dyeing her hair purple or anything. It's like, no, this is kind of like a major biological change that science can't explain.
But then they go to meet this other like environmentalist or
The guy who also turns out to be a pterodactyl.
yeah,
The guy who looks kind of like Craig T.
with the
An older
blue
Craig T. Nelson.
blue martinis.
Yeah.
Whoa, they just knocked him out for a loop. Oh my
Was
god.
this was that implied that he was gonna.
Take advantage of him?
Yes.
No, because he said she belonged to somebody else, remember?
But what about the other girl?
Yeah, she said she was getting a soft heart for him, but I don't know.
So
Soft spot.
so yeah, spoiler alert, Beverly D'Angelo's character, who is the pterodactyl woman. By the way, this movie should be called Pterodactyl Woman, not Pterodactyl Women, because there's only two people that are pterodactyl people, and one of them is a dude.
Yep, the other one's a lizard.
It doesn't have enough women in it to be called Pterodactyl Women.
Right, but woman might have sounded weird. Man and woman? What are you going to do?
Pterodactyl Babe from Beverly Hills.
I don't know.
Okay.
Then you're doing that Girl Scout troop
Okay.
from Beverly Hills.
The Beverly Hills Dinosaur Queen.
I don't know. I don't know if a pterodactyl is a queen.
Well, she's
nested.
a woman, so
She nested in the tree.
yeah.
Oh my
This
god.
is another movie that
Oh.
Oh.
And the son was doing a report for school.
Yeah. I have a question for you
God.
about this. Why was this rated R?
Well, there were a couple spots that she kind of was naked, but you didn't really see much, but then you could have thought about it.
The only time when you're talking about that where it's possible you might have seen something if you used your imagination. No, not that part, when she was in the shower.
Oh, but in the tree she was naked.
But you didn't see
when
anything.
She was nesting.
She could have been in a one-piece bathing suit and you wouldn't have noticed.
I guess.
For like an action movie or a horror movie or a comedy. Okay. If Troma asked you to direct a movie called Pterodactyl Women from Beverly Hills, this is how I think you would have directed it. Okay, so
I wouldn't have laughed through it.
So do you want some blood squibs and like blood squirting out? No. We don't want any blood. Okay, you want this character to be naked? No. I'm making a family film. This movie actually includes a scene where I guess Beverly D'Angelo is teaching her kids the birds and the bees.
Oh my god.
And I'm not gonna lie, there are a few moments in this. First of all, Beverly D'Angelo is just going full camp. She's not only eating fish in the movie, she's eating up pages of scenery. It's almost like she was given free range to improvise. Like the director said, just act crazy. Okay.
No, she probably had to study a pterodactyl or whatever, because she was always like,
I've been in movies with Chevy Chase. I know how to act like a delusional weirdo.
Well,
I would have said delusional moron, but we all know Chevy Chase is a jerk. But anyway, You've never heard those stories?
Whatever, Justin. We're not in that movie franchise. We're in this movie.
So, is there any way you would suggest this movie?
No.
Me, me neither. I've heard that this is
It
not
was probably worse than Porky's.
okay. How would you compare it to like Curse of the Cannibal Confederates? Because that was another Troma film.
Oh, God. Don't make me pick.
Okay,
But are you going to tell him the whole kicker from the end or no?
yeah, sure. It's this movie. It's barely worth a rental. At the end, it's hinted that the entire movie was a dream.
Yep. That he had heat stroke or whatever.
You know, Breaking Dawn Part 2 kind of got away with that. This movie is no Breaking Dawn Part 2. This movie is no Breaking Dawn Part 1.
This movie is nothing.
Okay, how would you compare it to the other uh dinosaur movie that you've seen? Tammy and the T-Rex. That's better, right?
Is that a Troma?
No.
Okay, that was better. You're trying to get me to pick between two Troma movies, which
And
one
then
is
I
better?
and then I
they're
had
both,
you
They're all yuck.
well,
They're they're immature or premature or wannabe director actors, whatever. She was probably the big name that they paid for this movie. And she was what, part writer, director, or
I
something?
think she was like an associate producer or something.
Wow.
Hey, maybe she just wanted to do something different.
Yep, maybe it was one of her.
Or
Maybe it was one of her kids' books or something.
No, it's not. It's not based on a book.
He wrote a play.
Maybe
because the son in this movie was like, doing a lot of stuff.
maybe Beverly D'Angelo was a huge fan of The Toxic Avenger and Surf Nazis Must Die.
Oh.
Oh, and Class of Nukem High.
I don't know. Okay, we're getting close on time.
This was a mistake. This was one of those where, you just give it a weird title and it tricks somebody into watching it.
Yep, I guess so.
I'm trying to think what's another.
Oh,
Like Demented Death Farm Massacre, how the original title was Honey Britches.
Mm.
Or Curse of the Cannibal Confederates was originally titled Curse of the Screaming Dead.
Oh, okay.
Join us next time when we'll take a look at a movie that
more funny?
Probably contains a little
more funny, right?
I would say that it contains less gore or less blood and gore, but that would imply there was blood and gore in this movie.
True.
This like one of the most bloodless R-rated movies I've ever seen.
Right. Even when the dinosaurs that one dinosaur took
a dinosaur?
Took a bite out of that little dinosaur and took it into its cave or whatever.
Oh, by the way, she gives birth to a dinosaur egg.
To an egg, yeah. That turns into a baby.
Well, it cracks.
Pterodactyl. Yeah.
So,
just believe us when we say we've seen it.
I'm gonna go watch. I need to rewatch Beware Children at Play. I need to watch a funny movie. Okay, bye.
God, that's bad.
Join us next time when we take a look at one of Kay's choices.
Okay, bye-bye.